okay, so if I'm an actor and I'm a business, how do I get an audience? How do I provide value? In this climate, I think we can kind of understand that the world has been shifting and now officially has kind of shifted. And we have to all kind of understand how these things work and give ourselves the best opportunity to succeed here. So let's just jump right into this deck. I am taking on this path to encourage other people to find ways to pave your own lane. I think it's really important that we understand that our digital presence as actors is just as important as the work that you're doing in the audition rooms. We all get into this business because we understand that this art form matters, but at a certain point we start to realize that the art form requires us to sell tickets. And that is an unfortunate reality, but that is the truth of it. We need to fill the theater or else shows close. So as actors, we can either hope that our shows sell tickets or we can find ways to help them sell tickets, in my belief. And I've seen people do this, and there's some tips here I have to try and create those opportunities for yourself. The best thing that you can do for your social media presence and for your understanding of how to be successful on a digital platform is to focus on the audience. Whether it's ABC or it's Fox or it's NBC or it's Disney or it's Apple or it's Facebook or Amazon or the New York Times, it doesn't matter. Everybody knows that what business is focused in right now is this idea that they're trying to capture as much of your attention as they can. That's kind of the idea of what you can do to help to build your audience, is to find ways to capture people's attention, to keep their attention, and then to build off of the attention that you've gotten from these connections that you've made. So back in the day, it really mattered where the business was located. Foot traffic was key, and you had to kind of place your store in the perfect area. This was even true. McDonald's is as successful as McDonald's is partly because they were so strategic about placing a McDonald's just off of every major highway in the United States. That kind of geographic planting really helped set themselves up for success. But now, if we keep going, the foot traffic of the day is the internet. And this is where you can reach the most amount of people with the least amount of money, the idea of like creating as much scale as possible. There's 3.5 billion people with smartphones, right? On all of these major platforms, which you can see here. And this idea that you can reach a tremendous amount of people for free. And what the industry calls that is organic reach. And that's what's so interesting about these social media platforms is they don't make you pay to reach all these people. You can't just put your movie on Disney, but you can put your movie on the internet for free, and that has the opportunity to be seen by 20 million, 40 million, 60 million people if you play your cards right. And that is a really interesting kind of new frontier that we're all trying to figure out how to work in. Let's keep going. Okay, so if I'm an actor and I'm a business, how do I get an audience? How do I provide value? And I think that the best way to kind of like relieve yourself of the pressure of what all of this is to remember that it's not really about you, it's about other. So it's about what you can do for other people. So there's a bunch of, this is just kind of a list of ways that I think that people can bring value for other people. Think of any good meme account, any account that you are excited when they post or when you see their post, they're probably doing one of these things for you, if not more, right? Like a lot of the really funny, entertaining meme accounts are also inspirational, or they're entertaining and they're in a specific niche, so they're helping to build a community, and they're also finding other comedians or other people on the internet, and they're posting those people's memes onto their account, which is a catalog, that's a museum. It's not all about, okay, let me share my singing videos or let me share my dancing videos, right? It's like, how can I teach someone to sing? Or how can I show someone why I riffed this way? Or how can I teach someone why I made this vocal choice? Or What do I have to provide for other people that may help them on their journey and connect us to each other because that I've provided them that service? I try not to pay attention to likes, and I try not to pay attention to views, because that stuff is not actually engagement. Engagement is commenting and DMing and people sharing your content, finding ways to get people to comment, to create content that people actually want to comment on or actually want to share or actually are interested in talking to you about. That's kind of the goal here. You need to do as many things as you possibly can on the internet that you love, right? If you love cooking and making cocktails and ballet and R&B, you can get yourself doing all of those things on the internet as quickly as possible and find ways through repetition, through actually making those things on the internet. You will start to learn like what is working for people and what isn't, and you can double down on the things that are working versus the things that aren't. It is kind of daunting to think about the strategy of like, okay, I should be posting every single day to 7 platforms multiple times. I should be spending time commenting on everyone's Twitter or Instagram. That's kind of overwhelming to then think about like, oh, how am I going to spend 6 hours making a YouTube video, or how am I going to learn these TikTok dances, or how am I going to make this choreography video? Well, if you're already doing any of those things, document them, because that will take the burden off of like creating from scratch, which is always going to take more time. Documenting the process of things that you're already doing to further your career is going to be the easiest way for you to kind of get as much content on the internet as possible without taking too much of your time, because we only have so many hours in the day. So a lot of people have a really negative experience on social media, and it can be a very hard place. And I think that the way in which you can kind of change that for yourself is to think more about putting content out as opposed to consuming content. Instead of spending 3 hours on Instagram consuming something that makes you feel bad, maybe you could spend 2 hours coming up with TikToks that you can just put out to give to people, and you can create connection instead of consuming, or instead of sitting back and posting something then waiting for other people to be excited by it. Think of them as opposed to me.